NFL Wildcard Weekend finally kicks off this Saturday, in which the NFL will have 6 wildcard games to kick it off. So what I'm going to do in this video is I'm going to give you my picks for how I believe this wildcard weekend will play out. So stick around. Welcome to Critical Condition Sports. My name is Jose, and I love to talk about sports way too much. With that being said, feel free to join me in the comment section down below and give me your thoughts on today's topic. If you're new to the channel, welcome. My name is Jose Matos, and I do weekly videos and give you separate, different kind of hot takes in the world of NFL and NBA. Right now, we're going to be talking about the NFL, though. So if you enjoy listening about takes like that, please feel free to subscribe and share. It helps the show. So what we're going to be talking about today is going to be NFL Wildcard Weekend kicking off this Saturday. Finally, for the first time in NFL history, we're going to have not 4, but 6 wildcard games to kick it off. Let's get started. So starting off with the first game on Wildcard Weekend this Saturday is going to be the Colts at the Buffalo Bills. So it's going to be an interesting game. It's a little bit more interesting than what a lot of people may think. I think that the Colts defense ranks, in the top 10 in every single category, which at least gives them a chance to be able to go up against this Buffalo offense who ranks in the top 5 in every single category. In my game, though, in this game, what really concerns me about the Colts is, first of all, I never really took them serious. Didn't really think they should have been in the playoffs just because of the fact that I feel like the offense is very limited with Phillip Rivers. He can't really make plays outside of the pocket, and this Buffalo defense, in my opinion, is very dynamic. I feel like the Colts are going to come out hot. They're good when they're going off the script, but once this team has to go into the second half and starts to add live to their plays, pretty much they start to struggle. And Buffalo's been on a rampage. They've won multiple games. They're on a multiple game win streak. Josh Allen has been on fire ever since the whole Hail Murray kind of playing, which they lost. They've been absolutely on fire. Josh Allen has really progressed in his development and is looking like an MVP candidate. I feel like in the second half, the Buffalo team will take off, and Buffalo will beat the Colts in this game 34-20, in my opinion, right there moving forward. Going on to the next game, it's going to be the Seattle Seahawks going up against the Los Angeles Rams. The Rams are actually going over there to Seattle to play this football game, and a lot of people that are Seattle fans, this is a trap game because Russell Wilson, over the last 4 years when he's played against division foes, have all been one-possession games. The next thing is the Rams defense has really made Russell Wilson uncomfortable throughout this season. In the 2 meetings that they've had, the Rams have been able to put pressure on Russell Wilson and have been able to sack him 11 times. That's the most by any team against Russell Wilson. The next thing is, throughout the first 9 weeks, Russell Wilson is leading the NFL in passing touchdowns. He was on a crazy road and a crazy rampage ever since then, though. This Seattle offense has really seemed to fall off the edge. I don't think it's, regardless of whether it's Goff or Wolford, I don't know if I pronounced that name right, but regardless of either quarterback playing under center, I feel like this game's still going to be very close. It's going to be very competitive just because the Rams defense ranks number 1 just about every single defensive category. They're the real strength of this team. The Rams are getting Cooper Kupp back, who is such a dynamic player that's going to give Seattle issues. Evidently, though, in my opinion, when it comes to such a close game like this, I'm going to go ahead and side with the quarterback. I feel like Russell Wilson's been in this position before. I feel like he's very dangerous, and I feel like Russell Wilson will put this team in a position to at least take the lead and win this game. Regardless of the situation, I feel like Seattle's going to win this game, have the lead, and then stab off a last-minute Rams comeback. Seattle will win this game 24-20. Now for the evening game, the Washington football team will go up against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. This is actually going to be a home game for the Washington football team, and they are playing from the NFC East. Yes, I know the NFC East has been garbage. Washington doesn't even have a winning record going into this game, but don't sleep on this game. A lot of people I've heard throughout the week talking about this potentially being a trap game. A lot of people don't have the courage to say what I'm about to say in this, and that is that I'm going to take the Washington football team to take care of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in the opening round. In my opinion here, I've talked about this over the last 2 weeks with people when it comes to this. This is a very dangerous matchup for the Bucs. I feel like the Bucs can match up well against other teams, but when it comes to this sort of team, it's going to give Tom Brady a lot of issues. What's the one thing that Tom Brady hates? And yeah, I know it sounds very cliche to say that when you get pressure on a quarterback, they drop off. But with Tom Brady, when you look at some of the key losses in his career, like the Super Bowls against the Giants, what did they do really well? They had great pass rushers. They were able to hurry the quarterback, and they made life for him uncomfortable for 3 hours. And that's the kind of challenge that the Washington football team will present. What makes me nervous is the Washington football team ranks 30th in passing offense and total offense, actually. And the thing about that is, I know it still worries me a lot, but if J.D. McKissick and Antonio Gibson can really get going in the run game and passing game and help make life a little bit comfortable for Alex Smith, I feel like Washington can put up just enough points. When it comes to the defensive side of the ball, Chase Young, Montez Sweat, the Washington football team has 5 first-rounders on that defensive line, which makes them so explosive and so dangerous. They rank near the top 5 when it comes to just about every single category, but the main one that I look at is they rank number 4 when it comes to total sacks allowed with 47. I feel like the real match with the Knights is going to be Chase Young versus Tristan Wirfs. Let's see how the rookie and his first playoff game can handle that pressure, defending, trying to protect the GOAT. I don't like the matchup for Tampa Bay, and in my opinion, Bruce Arians is coaching for his career right now. I feel like if Tampa Bay goes out there and loses in an embarrassing fashion, or not even embarrassing fashion, but this offense fails to put up points, I feel like Bruce Arians will probably lose his job, in my opinion, because this organization has a lot invested in Tom Brady. My opinion, it's going to be sloppy. It's going to be ugly. Tampa does have a chance to win if Bruce Arians can go off his ego and let Tom Brady take control of this game. I don't think that's going to happen. I have the Washington football team winning this game 27-23. Moving on to Sunday's game, it's going to be the Bears at the Saints. I'm not really going to waste a lot of people's time. David Montgomery has been an absolute stud since week 12. He's been running the football effectively with 625 yards and 7 total touchdowns during that time span. This Bears offense has seemed to click. I don't think it's going to be a massive blowout like a lot of people seem to think, but the Saints have one of the top 3 best rosters in the NFL. I feel like they're very motivated. Drew Brees is very motivated to not, what is probably his last season playing. I feel like he's very motivated to not go out and be one and done like they were last year. It was very embarrassing. This is a Saints team that has a lot to put up with. Weeks have gone by. They're getting healthy. Michael Thomas looks to be in the best shape that he's been all season long. I really like the Saints to be able to take over this game and win 30-20. And get that victory over the Chicago Bears. Moving on to the next game, very interesting one for me. It's going to be the Baltimore Ravens versus the Tennessee Titans. Now, Ryan Tannehill has been on absolute fire since taking over the job. Ryan Tannehill, in just about every single statistical measure, is number 2 behind Patrick Mahomes. Derrick Henry, 2,000 yards rushing this season, has been an absolute stud. But I'm going to go ahead and take the Ravens to win this game. Ever since they lost 30-24 to the Tennessee Titans in overtime, Lamar Jackson's been on fire. 11 touchdown passes to only 3 interceptions. Lamar's rushed for 430 yards on the ground and has another 5 touchdowns to his name on the ground as well. This Ravens team looks to be like they're getting in the groove. They're on a 5-game winning streak. And the difference between this year and last year is that this Ravens team is fueled. Not only did they lose to Tennessee last year, but this team was completely caught off guard last season when Tennessee came in and really shellacked them. Now, Tennessee's not coming off like a blimp like they did last year, and the Ravens are going to be expecting this, especially it definitely helped that they lost to them earlier this year. I think Lamar Jackson finally gets the monkey off his back when it comes to at least getting a playoff win in his career and moving on to the next round. I got Baltimore over the Tennessee Titans, 28-20. Now, going into the final game, it's going to be the Browns versus the Pittsburgh Steelers. I really don't want to waste a lot of people's time in this. Cleveland, good story. You finally made the playoffs, but here's the thing. You've had COVID issues. You haven't been able to properly practice. Your head coach is out. Baker Mayfield is just a game manager, in my opinion. I feel like, the spread was about 5.5 points here. I'm not trying to give anyone any betting advice, but if you're a betting man, I would definitely take the spread here. I see this game being a complete blowout. It's going to feel a lot closer. It's not going to feel a lot closer than what the scoreboard may say it, but I still feel like the Pittsburgh Steelers are going to destroy the Cleveland Browns. I feel like Baker Mayfield's not made for this kind of a moment, and he's a solid quarterback, but he's not a quarterback that can make up for his team's faults. We saw that last season. Now you're missing also a starting offensive lineman who's very important for that O-line. I feel like Big Ben, T.J. Watt, both of those stars got a week off. They're fresh. They have home field advantage. They have so much more experience over the Browns. No head coach. Baker Mayfield just being an average quarterback at best. Doesn't really seem to favor the Browns in any sort of thing. It's a very big high-pressure game for the Browns as it is for the Steelers because they got to wipe this team off the floor, in my opinion. Everything's working in the Steelers' favor. I'm going to go ahead and take Pittsburgh to dominate Cleveland 38-24. So there you go. Those are my picks. Let me know what you think. Obviously, I may not be right, but these are the picks that I feel. If you agree or disagree with me, let me know in the comment section down below. If you enjoyed this video, feel free to leave it a like. And if you enjoyed content like this, feel free to subscribe. I'll catch you later, guys. Goodbye.